Hello techies. Before we start the video, let's know about Upptalk. Upptalk is a live, interactive platform for software training, furnishing robust personalities who could take on universal business platforms. So, let's know about Workday LMS briefly. Workday LMS inspires learning from a rigid, unconnected experience to one that is relevant, demand-driven, and personalized. Workday LMS integrates peer learning, professional development, and needs training so workers can learn like never before. The topics we will cover in this video are compliance course, enroll in content, condition rule, assessors. To know more about the latest and trending technologies, watch other videos on the Upptalk channel. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel to know more about new technologies. This video will be covered by Mr. Amit. Now, let's not wait further and get started.
So I was just trying to create one simple report to just know one employee and their manager, because we're trying to do kind of course associated cost where approval has to go to manager. So I'm finding if there are any. I just created one sample report to identify this, because this tenant is not configured with a lot of stuff.
Why are we creating this report?
I told you, no? So I'm trying to identify a manager and employee to enroll into the course that is cost associated, where approval has to go to manager. So this is nothing that you need to know for this thing I'm actually creating. No, even Excel is not there here.
I'm not understanding. You have employee and manager. So what exactly are you looking?
That's what I'm looking actually. I'm looking for employee and manager. I'm not looking for anything. Okay, I'm trying to extract this Excel. Okay. Since Excel is not there, this is not getting extracted. So noting down these employees. Five, nine, four, two, three, five, nine, four. Okay. So yesterday we were trying to create course. And let's see. Okay. So first we need to enable the BP called Enroll this thing, so that we'll be seeing Enroll in the course. So we have a BP, create business process definition. Content.
So this is a business process which is already available.
So we are actually adding it to the tenant. So this was not available. So we are actually adding this, creating this BP, and now we should be able to enroll into the course.
Oh, it was not. It will not be available initially. We'll have to first
Yes.
create the business process. Then it will be available.
Yes. So now we should be seeing enroll option.
Till then, enroll option only will not be there, is it?
Not option, yeah, will not see. Let's create one course.
That cost is there in the top, right? That is for the course cost, is it?
Yes. Then just attaching a document as a kind of file. Since nothing is there here, it's Chrome file or PDF file. I just attached
What if
here.
I want only courses which are cost based to trigger, what do you say, manager approval, but normal courses should not trigger manager approval?
We can do that, no? So we'll be adding a condition rule only for cost associated courses. It has to go for manager, but for rest of the course, it will not go. We'll add a condition rule.
Okay.
The enroll button is not coming. So security is not defined. I'm defining a security who has to enroll into the course.
So the approvers, if you select manager,
Mm-hmm. So I'm adding these are all the groups under approval list. So when we write a condition for any kind of cost associated with with the course enrollment, it has to go for these groups which we'll be selecting in the PP. So now since we are adding these security groups, you should be able to pick any of the security group while you're writing a condition for approval. So if you're not adding this, you'll be not able to pick them because
okay. So
security
whenever we
process,
want to
security.
see in business process, everything has to be added here, and from
Yes.
there we have to pick. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. If you're not adding a security group here and expecting in a condition or in a business process step, you'll be not able to get them.
Okay.
Okay, so now we made BP policy settings, and now we'll be able to pick these roles when you're actually adding business process steps. So,
Okay.
ensure that you're activating security.
So this is the business process security policy, right?
Yes. So to add required a security, now employee will be having access to enroll into the course. Earlier, this since the security was not defined, employee was not able to see or learning administrator the user which which I'm using is a kind of learning administrator as well as a learner. Then no one is able to see that enroll button. Now I think the enroll button should have been enabled because we have configured the PP. So now go to
What if I am a learning administrator and I am trying to enroll as a user? Will it still go to my manager? Because I am also a
yes.
learning admin who can be an approver also, right?
No, it will go to your manager. It will go to your manager because we are giving the cost associated courses to only manager, not learning administrator, employee manager.
Okay.
So once employee enrolls into the course that is associated with cost, it will go to manager, not learning administrator. Okay. Still, I'm not able to see this. Proxy as an employee. Not sure whether proxy is there or not. Proxy access is not there. This time they have restricted everything, to assign the security to check what security to proxy as an employee. Everything they've restricted. I'm trying to see if I proxy as an employee. Since this is an implementer role, if I proxy as an employee, I should be able to see that I'm actually checking security profile.
We have not added the step, right, to send approval.
We have not, at least we need to see that enroll button. No, so I thought of showing the difference for you. So without approval step, how the enrollment will work, and after that, after adding the approval, how it works. I thought of showing the difference, but enroll button itself is not showing. I thought of getting into an employee profile and see, but there are a lot of restrictions for this. We've added all the required security also, but this is an implementer account. That is one thing, where we'll be not able to understand because of the implementer access. So since this is an implementer, we're not ever seeing that. Let me also add an implementer in BP. So, since this account, whatever we are using is not an employee or not a contingent worker, but this is an implementer. I'm guessing that should be the problem. But let's see. They're not actually getting any other tenant because they're not able to find the vendors who can provide tenant. Actually, that's the glitch that they're having. No. Foxy, the employee, we should be able to find it. Okay, and let's not worry on that. So I'll show how to add a condition to the BP, and probably we'll ask them to give an employee access to this tenant so that we can log in as an employee and see how we can access. So in order to write a condition, probably I'll write a condition and then create a course that is associated with cost, but also we'll do other configuration, dropping the enrollment thing also will do, and probably testing part, probably I'll ask them to grant security administrator for an employee. So if we log in as an employee, we should be able to see all these options. I'll be writing a condition to the PP and roll into the content. So what is the scenario now? So whenever the cost is associated with course, there has to be an approval for manager. But what if there is no cost associated? So that's the reason why you're writing a condition here. Only when cost is the cost of the course is greater is a certain amount of dollars, it'll be specific. Then only it has to go for manager approval, right? Kind of condition you'll be writing. For that, you need to add one business process step as an approval. Okay, granting manager as an access.
So effective date means this business process will take effect now.
Yes, yeah. So now you'll be adding by default any business process you take in Workday. By default, step A will be automatically added with initiation. So it will just get initiated when the process is triggered. Now we're adding step B, type approval, security group, because we've added the manager as a manager, management chain, all those things in the BP policy. We'll be getting that list here. So whatever we have added, we got that list here. So we'll be selecting manager. Okay. So now if you click on OK, now what will happen? Tell me. So there is no specific condition that we've written here. So
Yeah.
whenever there is an enrollment, it has to go for manager approval. What it will do for all the enrollments, it will be sending an approval because we have because we have not defined any condition on cost associates. Now we'll be writing a condition stating that not all the courses has to go for manager approval, but only cost associated course should go for manager approval. So go to the business process step, to which you need to write a condition. So now since for approval step we wanted to write a condition, go to approval step, select the second step, business process, create condition rule.
So course cost, what all is there?
So we are looking for cost only, no? You'll be having a lot of fields that are available in Workday, but the condition what we are writing is related to cost, right? There's a reason why you have all the fields that Workday provides. You have a lot of fields, that you can that are available here, but we have wanted to have course cost. When course cost is greater than 0, okay, be it $1, be it 0.5 cent, be it $100, anything will work now. Okay, course cost greater than 0, then it will go for an approval. Now we have created a condition rule. Now we need to add this condition to the BP. So to add to the condition to the BP, we need to follow the same process.
No, this
Approval.
when you create condition rule, it did not get automatically added, is it?
No, we need to create a condition rule. Then maintain step conditions. You need to actually select maintain step condition. In the step, we need to add this course cost. So we added that condition here. Now the BP is added with condition. So you see now the BP, the second step, what it will do is, if the course is associated with cost, then then it has to go for manager, then it has to go for an approval, and the approval person is manager. So that is the kind of condition that we have written here. Okay.
What all types we have apart from initiation, approval?
So you have all the actionable types. We have approval, integration. Let me edit and show you. If you wanted to have a consolidated approval, if you wanted to have list of a group of persons to take an action, you can do that. Action with just it will send a kind of a notification to that security group, whatever you will be adding. That person just need to take an action. That's it. An approval notification will be going. Approval chain is nothing but a group of people will be part of approval chain. Let's say HR administrator, learning administrator, benefit administrator, you've added. Okay. Until unless these three security groups are taking an action, it will not proceed further. So approval chain will be consisting of list of approvers in the group of approvers in the list.
But if we have approval chain, for example, and is it like one after the other, or all the three will get together?
All the three will be getting, and all the three has to take an action.
Oh, all three have to approve, not like any one of them, nothing like that.
No. Approval, when you select the approval chain, you will be having an option here. all is there, no? So if you select all, so if you select this all checkbox, all has to take an action. But if you don't check the checkbox, and if you are adding multiple approvers, even if anyone takes an action, that will move further. But if you check all checkbox, all has to take an action.
Okay. So we can also do one thing, no? If it is, we can select approval, and we can select, we can create a security group called some team, learning admin team or something. Instead of manager, for example, if I want learning admin to approve, we can select learning admin, right? So in that case, it will go to learning administrators or group altogether, right?
Anything, as per your requirement, anything you can do. Security BP setup is completely based on your this thing. You can define it anything in any way in any way as per your security and business process requirement.
Okay.
That is the reason why in the initial stage, when you're actually preparing a checklist of business process, you'll try to understand who has to approve what and who has to take an action, kind of a list of checklist you'll be preparing.
Okay. What is checklist?
Checklist is a kind of list of items that has to be in the business process. Let's say so if you select any of the item new hire checklist, so a kind of sub business process will be created for this one, and is not created for everything, but when there is a kind of, when you're actually triggering a higher business process, under higher business process, what are the checklist items that you have to do? Onboarding has to be there, and BGC has to be there, and personal information that employee has to edit. All these are kind of checklist item when employee is getting hired into the system. So you'll be adding those checklist, and you'll be actually giving those items actually. So not for for enrollment and all. No, there is no kind of checklist that we'll be preparing. Only specific business process will be having a kind of checklist.
Okay, this is not restricted to learning alone. Okay.
No.
Business process is not restricted to learning alone. Okay.
Yeah.
So
report is nothing but if you wanted to attach a report to the business process. Let's say if you're if you're actually having list of business process steps where you need to actually configure the report output to this one, you'll be actually giving this one. So once you select report and click on OK, it will ask you to add the report. Okay, so let's say.
So what will happen? I didn't understand. So will the report be emailed to whom?
No. Report will be actually attached to this one. I'll show you how it works. Let's say if you're actually creating any integration, basically for all standard business process, you'll not pick report. When you're actually creating integrations, okay, you see here, there is a item called batch job is there. bad job. Okay, so bad job is nothing but when you're actually creating integrations. Okay, so let's say background check is one of the integration you're creating. Okay, so background check, the source of the integration is the report. Okay, so the integration has to collect data from the report. Okay, so in that scenario, the business process definition, when you're actually creating for that integration, you'll attach that report. So when business process is triggered, this business process will initiate integration to run, where the source of the data will be picked from the report. That kind of setup that will be made for report. Okay, when you're actually picking a batch job kind of schedule jobs that you're making, so you'll be actually adding the report output to this one, so that integration when triggers, it will go to the report, pick the output, and send to the external system based on the delivery configuration that you'll be making. And
In learning, do you have any scenario where you'll be using
no,
report?
no. So we have certain business process like enroll, manage course, and drop enrollment. These are all the things are there, but nowhere report comes into picture for that one. This is only for triggering a file to any external system where report comes into picture.
So probably recruitment or something, right?
Yes, recruitment is one thing, and benefits is also one thing, and performance. If there is anything, performance data has to be sent to internal system, like goals and all. So in the scenario, it will be coming. But for learning, all those learnings is nothing but course completion. So we'll be having maximum 7 to 8 reports in learning. One is course completions, and list of courses are available, list of instructors are available, and course, all status of course, whether it is in progress, enrolled, not started, completed, all the status you'll be seeing in the report. And max to max 6 to 7 reports are there, which you'll be using for learning tracking purposes and all.
Okay.
And you see integration also. Integration nothing but if you create any integration and click on OK, it will ask you to configure that integration. So when business process is triggering, integration will be triggered automatically. Okay, so when you're actually creating attaching integration, which means that integration will not run through scheduled process or through manual run. It will run through business process. When let's say now as an example, so we are creating enroll into the content. Okay, so this is not the case, but just for understanding purpose, I'm saying now if you have created integration now, and if you clicked on OK, but generally for learning, will not be adding an integration. You see, so it will ask you to add any integration to that list actually. So configure integration, it will ask. So you need to give any of the integration that exists in the tenant. So once you give that integration, how that will execute is first initiation will trigger, then approval will go to manager, then after approval this integration will trigger. So there is no business case, but just I'm telling. So if there is a business case, if integration is triggering, after approval, it will go for integration will trigger, and it will deliver any of the data that it will be picking from the business process and sending to external system. As how you would have defined created integration, technical person will be creating where it has to go, all those delivery settings that the developer would have made. So when this business process triggers, as per the sequence, initiation, approval, and the integration trigger will go to the particular external system.
Okay, so here A, B, C we have given, right? So is it like after first step only second step will start, after second step only third step will start? Is it like that?
Yes,
Or
sequence. It is a sequence of steps. No, nothing will initiation will start first, then approval, then integration will trigger. It's not like C will start first and B will start next, and then initiate. First initiation will be happening, then whatever steps that you're giving here as per the order. That is the reason why an order is there. Okay, it will go as per the order.
is it after completion
For example, after manager approves only, then it should go to
Yes,
the step. Is
yes,
it like
yes.
completion of that step,
Yes, no, let's say it will be going for approval step
or
for
he
manager.
taking up the step?
If manager is not taking any action, okay, that task will be sitting in manager's inbox, and this step will be not doing anything. This step will not trigger until unless manager takes an action and approves that one. Then BP will be coming to next step.
Hmm. Suppose
So only
manager
after
goes to the manager's approval, and
Mhm.
manager instead of approving he denies. So only we want to send approved things for integration, for example.
Then you need to write a condition. That's it. No, you need to write a condition only when there is an approval. Only when the status of a BP is an approval, then only it will go for. Then only the step has to trigger. We'll write a condition here, as how we have written
Okay.
here. The same kind of
Okay.
condition we'll be writing here. So when status
Okay.
is approved, then this has to trigger kind of
Hmm.
condition we'll be writing.
Okay. Okay.
But basically, for learning, we'll be not configuring any integration, but just
Hmm.
as you asked how it works, just added the integration. But
Hmm.
in general cases of learning BPs, we'll be not adding any integrations or reports. But for recruiting, we'll be adding as per business case, hiring business process will be adding, because when hiring an employee, it has to validate whether employee has. Now after COVID has started, a lot of organizations have started whether employee has got vaccinated or not. Such kind of rules have come. So we'll be creating an integration that sends the vaccination related documents to employee, and employee will be picking those documents and will be authenticating that he has vaccinated or not. And then the next step will trigger. Such kind of things have come for hiring process and all. So based on that, we'll be configuring. But for learning, there is no case as of now that integration has to trigger business from
Hmm.
business process.
Hmm.
Integration will be there. So some external systems, will be asking the completion of this compliance courses to track who are all completed. So that kind of integrations will be creating, but not at BP level. Even assessors will. Yesterday I've shown you, right, blended courses when I was creating. Let me show. You have an option to select assessors also.
Yes. So what assessor will be doing?
Basically, the role of assessors is assess the candidate in grade, in terms of grade, in assigning grades, and in terms of tracking time and attendance kind of things. Assessors will be doing. Let's take a blended course. So you can see here, you can select assessors, who will be actually part of this course, who will be actually tracking the training units that has to be granted, and take care of time and attendance, all those training unit related activities. Generally, assessors will be taking care, but even instructors, in some scenarios, instructor also they can take time and attendance as well.
No, how will they? My question is, how will they um, know who have attended? Is there a sign-in sheet or roster which they will share across the classroom? People will sign, or is there a QR code which people will scan? How will he know who all are attending that day?
So for actually, for any kind of classroom courses, to the BP, to the Enroll BP, you'll be adding, if you wanted to attach any kind of training roster, if you wanted to attach any kind of online form, you'll be actually adding to the Enroll into the content. People who are actually enrolled, they'll be getting a kind of roster or online form to their inbox or their notification. When they view the notification, they'll be able to view that online form and submit their, a kind of check boxes. Once they click on check boxes, that will be submitted, and there either assessor or instructor will be able to know that this person have attended the course. There's a kind of BP setup, kind of business has to give that online form, so that developer will be configuring that online form to the BP. And when BP triggers for all the enrolled candidates, whenever learning administrator or team manager is enrolling their team to the particular course, this form will be actually sent to those enrolled candidates, and they'll be submitting their this thing. So during the course of session, assessor or instructor will be saying that you would have received online form or roster kind of document to your notifications. Just access that and submit your attendance kind of things. They'll be requesting the candidate. Once that is done through business process, it will be sent again to not learning administrator, instructor, or assessors, where they'll be tracking the time and attendance.
But anyways, that even that form also can be, submitted from anywhere. It doesn't mean that should be in the classroom. I don't know.
Anywhere in the sense. Anywhere in the sense where.
Meaning, if you configure for example, like how you said now, one form in the BP, that means that whoever is enrolled will get the form.
Yes, whoever will be enrolled will be getting the course.
Everyone can submit, but who have attended that day, nobody will know, right?
No, that only during the course of session, during course of session, your instructor or assessor will be asking to respond to that notification. So once they responded, they'll be that, which means that you mean to say even if employee is not attending the course, how can he'll be able to submit?
He can still submit, right? Because it is sent to everyone who is enrolled. If we configure in BP, right?
Who's configured in BP, but your learning history will be tracking that, right? Your learning history will be tracking, and there your assessor or instructor have to mark that course as completion. So that will be everything in learning learning instructor will be giving information to learning administrator, right? So completion will be in the hands of instructor and assessors until unless they actually agree that that course is completed for that employee. It will be not marked as complete.
That is correct. But my question is, how will they know who has attended? Because he can mark the completion because of his access, but he needs to know who has attended.
No, how can he, not because of access? How can, he'll not straightly do that? No, until unless he see that the candidate as part of the course and, part of the session, then only he'll agree to cancel, mark as complete. Just, he can't do that, no. Just because of access that he can't do that, right? If candidate has attended the course, candidate has attended the course and part of the session, then he'll be marking that course as complete, considering this the notification part stating that he was part of the session.
Right. For him to know he's a part of the session, so somewhere he has to call out the person's name and understand who, okay, this guy is attending. So just understanding the way how this will be conducted in instructor led. In online, anyways, everyone will get credit as per their completion. But in instructor led, in the previous LMS, what I have seen, it will be like a roster will be circulated within the classroom, and people will sign against their names. So
manually. Manually, right?
Manually.
Yeah. That can be done manually, but if it is online and if online virtual sessions are going on, and if it is not a kind of in-person kind of training, so that can be tracked through this BP setup. But if it is classroom training, everything is happening with the physical involvement, then that manual anywhere that manual roster will be distributed. That can be learning administrator learning administrator will be part of that, and instructors will be taking care of that manual roster or not. But if that has to be automated, instead of sharing a kind of manual document and all, this is a way that we can configure at BP level. We can actually configure that online form, and that can be triggered to all the enrolled candidates, and learning instructor will be actually asking in the session, so you should have got this item to your inbox or your notification, and action has to be taken, and accordingly whatever actions and items that they'll be getting, to those actionable items, they'll be taking an action on completions.
Okay. So for the instructor to even share the roster, where will he get the printout of the roster? Meaning, is there any name? I mean, can I pull out all the people? Okay, report we can pull out. Okay, fine.
What report?
Okay, understood. Yeah.
What report you mean to say?
Now, like how we have to if we have to circulate the sign-in sheet or roster who have all
Mhm.
enrolled to a particular
Mhm.
scheduled offering.
Mhm.
So where will he get that list from? Is what I was thinking.
The BP will be
Suppose there
taking
is,
care, right? BP will be instructor will not
how
be
will
taking
I take
BP.
how will I take a printout of that?
How why BP will take printout? Data will be there in Workday, so BP will check the status of the enrollment, and it will be picking those candidates, and it will be sending a notification to those candidates. Data is there within Workday, right? If candidate is enrolled, we'll be writing a condition. Only enrolled
Yeah,
candidates should be sent with online form and all. So it will
we are
check
talking
the.
about manual form. I was referring to the this one sign-in sheet. I was referring to the manual thing.
Mhm.
So where will you get the list of
Oh, if it is going manually, okay.
so I believe
Manually, I think, yeah, all the
a
list of
report can be
enrollment.
created.
Yes, yeah. They'll be having list of enrolled candidates who have enrolled. Basically, that is the case, right? If instructor is coming to the classroom session, he'll be having all the information who have got enrolled and what is the strength of enrollment and all. He'll be having all this information, no? And
Mm-hmm.
accordingly, they'll be actually going.
Okay, okay. Got it, got it. Yeah.
Okay.